Welcome back to Top 7, the channel where we explore the most fascinating and sometimes catastrophic events in history. Today, we're counting down the top 7 most expensive mistakes of the century so far. These blunders cost billions and left a significant mark on the companies and nations involved. Let's dive in. Number 7, Blockflix. Love 'em or hate 'em, no one can argue with the fact that Netflix changed the game when it comes to content distribution. Things could have looked very different had Blockbuster been open-minded in 2000. Back then, still a DVD rental company, Netflix proposed a buyout for $50 million. According to co-founder Mark Randolph, Blockbuster CEO John Antioco struggled not to laugh before turning them down. Following the rejection, Netflix eventually became stiff competition for Blockbuster, leading to the company's ultimate failure. Netflix has since transitioned into streaming as well as film and TV production, generating around $31.6 billion in revenue in 2022 alone. Number 6, the Sero Grande fire. In May 2000, the National Park Service in New Mexico started a controlled fire at the Sero Grande Peak to reduce wildfire risk. However, the dry and windy spring conditions caused the blaze to get out of control. The crew tasked with managing the fire was too small to contain it. 6 days after ignition, the nearby town of Los Alamos had to be evacuated, and 235 homes were destroyed. Eventually, the fire was extinguished, leaving an estimated $1 billion in damages. Number 5, the sinking submarine. In 2013, Spain commissioned state-owned firm Navantia to build 4 S-80 submarines. However, engineers miscalculated the submarine's weight, making them 110 US tons too heavy. This meant they would sink into the ocean's bed. After spending $650 million, the Spanish government spent millions more to make the submarines longer, only to find they then became too long for their dock. A similar issue occurred in 2008 when one of the US's most expensive aircrafts, the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber, crashed due to a miscalculation caused by moisture on its sensors. Number 4, Howie Hubler's Howl. In the lead-up to the subprime mortgage financial crisis of the late 2000s, trader Howie Hubler, head of the global proprietary credit group at Morgan Stanley, repackaged risky mortgages and sold them to investors, expecting them to be less risky. However, they turned out to be worthless, causing Morgan Stanley to lose an enormous $9 billion, the largest single trading loss at the time. Hubler was allowed to resign, complete with a severance package reportedly worth $10 million. Number 3, Station Sadness. In 2014, France's state-owned railway company SNCF decided to revamp their service with a new fleet of trains, purchasing around 2,000 at the cost of $20.5 billion. However, the measurements sent to manufacturers were tailored to more recent railway stations, making the new trains too large to pass through about 1,300 of the country's older stations. The miscommunication, reportedly blamed on the 1997 split of the railway network, cost an estimated $50 million a year to widen the platforms. Number 2, the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. In 2010, an explosion on BP's Deepwater Horizon drilling rig off the US coast led to one of the biggest environmental disasters in history. Investigations pointed to the use of cheap materials in building the oil wells. Approximately 210 million gallons of oil spilled into the Gulf of Mexico, dwarfing the 17.8 million gallons lost in the Prestige oil spill in Spain. The Deepwater Horizon incident is comparable to the 2011 Fukushima nuclear disaster in Japan, both of which could have been prevented with proper maintenance. Number 1, AOLs Fall. In 2000, AOL merged with Time Warner in a deal valued at $182 billion, creating a partnership said to be worth $350 billion. Expectations were incredibly high, but the dot-com bubble burst and a recession made the merger look disastrous. By 2003, AOL Time Warner announced a loss of $98.7 billion, a record in corporate history. In 2009, Time Warner cut its losses, allowing AOL to operate independently. AOL then changed hands, being sold to Verizon in 2015, and later, alongside Yahoo, to Apollo Global Management for $5 billion in 2021.